Hey, love. Welcome and or welcome back to the My Identity channel where this is my journey and I'm taking you on the ride with me. So let's come along for the ride. Hey, love. What is going on? How is everyone feeling today? Well, y'all know I am always ready for a chat, especially, especially when it's on such a particular topic dealing with self, okay? Y'all know how I am when it comes to dealing with myself. So today's topic of discussion, today's little chat, I titled this one, It's an Identity Crisis, Sis, okay? It's an identity crisis. And I know a lot of us have heard that term if you're in the ages between or the years between, let's see, from the say 1990, a little further, it could go a little further back, but in my generation, from 1990 to about 1995, you definitely have heard this saying before. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Remember, basically, when that trend, when that trend was to say, when you saw an older person trying to keep up with a younger person, right? And what would they always say that person possibly could have been suffering from? An identity crisis, okay? An identity crisis. Well, love, I feel like that a lot of that is going on um, today. And the problem is that we ain't old yet. I mean, I know a lot of us consider 27 and almost 30 old, but child, we are not old yet. And for a lot of us to be suffering from what they used to call an identity crisis, right, is a discussion that I feel like is important for us to. So, trust me, a lot of us are going through an identity crisis right now. Scary thing is that some of us may not know, and some of us actually may know that we're dealing with um, what I would like to call an identity crisis. And I mean, if this is you, really take the time now to think about why, you know, they would even call or even say a particular person is dealing with or having an identity crisis. So if you're within, I just like to, for my younger people out here that maybe are the 99 babies going up to the 2000s, okay, let me explain. So basically, the term identity crisis came, it came from when, like I said before, uh, basically, I feel like, and this is just my personal definition, when a person has lost themselves, okay, they didn't like, where they were, they don't like who they're becoming, and most importantly, they are really trying hard to be something that they are not, okay, if that makes sense. Now, somewhere in between life, excuse me, somewhere in between life and life, they became the misfit, okay, and pretty much got called out by society. And now they've become so far gone that they don't know how to be relevant within their own lives. And this, my friend, is, I feel like, what a lot is going on now within our generation. And also, a lot of us are on those paths to finding ourselves because we did at some point in time suffer from an identity crisis, right? So if you are watching this video right now, it is very important if this is speaking to you. If you ever felt like a misfit or currently feeling out of place within your own personal life, right? I just want to tell you that you have definitely have chosen the right place to lend an ear to today, right? I want to share with you basically some tips and tricks that I have been using to get my identity back. I cannot stress this enough that this page that I have created is really from a personal standpoint. You know, I too have suffered from identity crisis and a lack of knowing who I am and wanting to know who I am and trying to figure out who I am, what I'm drawn to, what I'm not drawn to, different things, different aspects about myself that I've never really gotten a chance to get to know because of whatever it may have been, like circumstances, people that I've allowed in my life. Um, it could be different for you, but I know that this page is very personal to me, and I'm definitely on the journey of getting to know me, but also knowing that I would love to help and to share information to help other people along their journeys as well as to getting back to knowing themselves, how to embrace that, how to cope with it when things don't look like that they're shifting in the way that you feel like that they should be, or you feel like you're stuck, and the different life situations that you might take on, how do you now embrace them with the person that you are now and want to become instead of embracing them as the person that you used to be. So please take all the extra time you need to just wholeheartedly, you know, oh, hold on. So tip number one, I'm sorry, I got a little ahead of myself, guys. Tip number one that I want to share with you guys today is forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And this could be the most hardest part of your journey to finding out who you are and on your journey to becoming who you want to be is that a lot of times that we can forgive other people quicker than we can forgive ourselves. And forgiveness is a major part in coming out of your personal identity crisis, right? So I want you to wholeheartedly forgive yourself for not being you, right? For allowing yourself to be entrapped into the gimmick of pretending to be something that you never were. It took me a while, for everyone is going to be different. Some people it might take a few months, some people it might take years, it might take a year. It's depending upon what you need to forgive yourself for and how far down the line have you lost yourself, right? So remember, when starting in this journey, first and foremost, forgive yourself, okay? Forgive yourself. Tip number two, right? Learn yourself, sweetheart. Learn yourself. I know I have mentioned in my other videos that, and I think that I have, I'm not sure, but I want to say that I have, is you are your own clinical study, okay? You are the scientist, you are the professor, you are the paperwork, you are everything that it takes to do a full clinical study about yourself. And this is an ongoing process. It's not that you maybe get a little data here, a little data there, and then that's it. No. You will forever be learning new aspects about yourself, diving down different tunnels about yourself, realizing things about yourself, finding different interests, that are connected to self. Okay, so we need to take all the time in the world, take all the time in the world, everything outside of ourselves, right? But if someone were to ask us about ourselves, do you think in this aspect of learning who you are when you're starting in this process, and I'm sorry, this is a question that I had wanted to ask, when you go into depth about learning yourself, when you first start out, In the beginning, you're only going to be able to name the basics. And I know you're like, well, what do you mean by the basics? By the basics, I mean your favorite color, your favorite food, you know, maybe your favorite wine, your favorite restaurant, your favorite place to go, maybe a book that you're currently reading at the moment. But you really need to go more in depth, dig deep in this learning avenue that you're going to be going in. You know, don't just look at the surface of knowing who you are, but really figure out what drives you. You know, really, really take the time out to do an investigation. You know, you need to act like you're an investigator of a crime scene. I know I'm using some weird analogies, but it's so true because when you only cover the basics of yourself, you're not really taking the time not to really figure you out. And that's why sometimes some people say, you know, I took a long time on my self-love journey to really cater to me, to really figure out who I am, to really know my needs, my wants, my dislikes, you know, even down to the quirkiest interests that I may have, but you know, they're all a part of me, even the bad side of myself that I never knew I could stoop to, or you know, these things could possibly have triggered me in a way. We need to know these things about ourselves. And another thing I want to add to this is history. History is a very, very what do I want to say, controversial aspect when it comes to learning who we are. And I feel all of us are really entitled to knowing the history behind who we are as a people, in a sense, but more so to add on to who you are as an individual. This is very critical within our generation and the time frame that we are currently in right now. So, on your path or on your journey, really take the time not to dig into your history and to learn more about where you came from, you know, who you came from, whose you are, and things of that nature, right? So, tip number 3, okay? Uncover the missing pieces. Accept yourself for all that you are and all that you are going to be. Know that you are a creature of growth, okay? We are creatures of growth. God did not make you a creative being. He did not make us creative beings for us to stand still. Learn those beautiful abilities about yourself and embrace them. Confidence in you is one of your biggest weapons. To walk in that confidence, to walk in your ability, to walk in your gift is the most beautiful thing about yourself. And we need to know that even though we evolve, but we also have to know that it's okay to evolve and embrace whatever that evolution of yourself comes with. You're only going to get grander. There's no going backwards if you don't allow yourself to do so. But if you keep walking in those gifts and abilities and um, unique things about yourself, you're only going to get grander. You're only going to reveal more um, qualities about yourself that you never knew that you had, that you never knew that you were capable of, that you never knew was supposed to be a part of you. So uncover everything. Don't leave no puzzle piece out of place, right? So tip number 4, build trust within yourself. And oh my goodness, 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 I can say that 1,000 times. I feel like so many of us lack trust within our own selves. I feel like we've been taught so much to trust into things outside of us and not to trust the things that are within us. Okay? See, when you begin to trust in yourself, people can see. They can see when and how, you know, how you handle yourself in a sense. They can also see when you don't trust within yourself. And in that aspect, that's when manipulation comes into play. When, when you show them that you can't even trust you with you, that, it opens doors and areas for people who were meant to harm us to come in, people that were meant to change the narrative of our lives to come in, people that like to throw the monkey wrench into things that, they know that they shouldn't have been a part of, but because they saw the distrust that you carried within yourself, it allowed that door to be open. And it's okay because sometimes we need these experiences to teach us that the most important person that we need to have trust in is one, God, because He created us, and two, ourselves, because He created us. So whatever trust that He had to make you and to choose you to come down here, that is the same trust that you have to have within yourself to know that you are you because God made you that way. You are you because there's things about you that's different from anybody else in this world. You are you because you have a purpose that's attached to you that you can't leave this earth without fulfilling. And to know that you may leave that door open to leave without doing so, it shows that it's because you don't trust what's already has been put within you. And other people can definitely see that as well too. So strengthen that. Know that you have the power, the say so, and the authority within you. But it will only activate. It will only activate when you begin to trust who you are and know for certain who you are. There is no, oh, I hope I'm this way. No, it's no was a word, an important word that was created. Knowing when it became a verb and no longer a noun. Knowing is a continuance of staying 10 toes down in the person that you are and in the person that you're going to continue to grow into. Right? So lastly, guys, lastly, what I have for you on this wonderful video, that this wonderful topic that we are talking about today. Lastly, tip number 5. Your identity as influence. There was a saying by a Mr. Brian Stevenson, and he said, we create the right kind of identity. We can say things to the world around us that they don't believe. However, however, I say, when you come into who you fully are, when you come into the acceptance of yourself as being authentically you, you can influence the world and change lives. Not only are you showing them that it's okay to be you, to trust you, to know you, to accept you, to believe in you, to honor you, to gracefully walk in the existence of you, Okay? And only you. This is how you begin to attract the people that are a part of your purpose. This is how you begin to attract the people that you are meant to affect in this world. Because they will follow you because of every aspect about you, every divine piece connected to you that God created, all that you are will be a major influence to this world because your identity is influence. No matter if it's the wrong influence at the time, if it's the right influence at the time, or it's the purposeful influence about you at that time. You have to know behind every true identity, there is a great leader, but it's up to us to embrace that. And that's all that I want to leave you guys with today. Like I've always said, this is my journey, but I am taking you on the ride with me. I am sharing with you the different challenges that I have been experiencing in my life, the hurdles that I am now choosing to overcome, the stumbling blocks that I am looking down at in passing because they no longer serve me. There is a bigger challenge out there for me to overcome each time I go to another level because this is what shapes me. But I decided, and the vision that God gave me about me speaking, I decided to trust in Him and to trust in me and to know that this journey that I'm on, it was not for me, meant for me to be on it on my own. There was a few people, a couple thousand, maybe a billion, that I'm supposed to take along with me. And I'm determined to make that happen. So as always, I love you guys. If you are tuning in and you have gotten any type of value from this video, please like and share and hit that bell for me. And I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye.
New flavor, reason to throw my game.